Right now, somewhere on Earth, millions of people are moving to the exact same heartbeat, for steady kicks to the bar. It's the pulse of house and techno, the sound that quietly took over the planet. But it didn't start in a stadium. It started in two broke American cities the world had written off. In 1977, a club called The Warehouse opened on the edge of downtown Chicago. Its resident DJ was a young New Yorker, Frankie Knuckles, spinning for a mostly black, Latino, and gay crowd the mainstream clubs ignored. Disco was officially dead, burned in a stadium, mocked on the radio. Knuckles refused to let it go. He cut it up, re-edited it on tape, and welded it to raw European electronics until it became something brand new. Record stores started labeling those tracks as heard at the warehouse. People shortened it to one word, house. A whole genre named after a basement club before almost anyone had even recorded a song in it. The first house producers couldn't afford real studios, so they reached for cheap, unwanted machines. One of them was the Roland TB-303, a little silver box built in 1981 to fake a bass guitar. It flopped so badly that Roland stopped making it just 3 years later, and that's exactly why it ended up in the right hands. A Chicago group called Phuture got one for almost nothing and started twisting its knobs the wrong way. A second-hand 303 could cost as little as $50, and that mistake became a brand new sound. That squelching, liquid bass became the track Acid Tracks in 1987 and gave birth to Acid House. Meanwhile, a Chicago record was about to do something nobody saw coming. An ocean away. In January 1987, Steve Silk Hurley's Jack Your Body shot to #1 in Britain. It held the top spot for 2 weeks, even though Radio 1 had basically refused to play it. The underground had gate-crashed the mainstream. But the bigger revolution was happening 280 miles away, in a city falling apart, Detroit. In the quiet suburb of Belleville, 3 friends met in high school, Juan Atkins, Derek May, and Kevin Saunderson. History would come to call them the Belleville Three. Late at night, they tuned into a radio DJ called the Electrifying Mojo, who played everything funk, new wave, and strange machine music from Europe. That machine music was Kraftwerk, for Germans turning synthesizers and drum machines into pure future. Derek May once described what they were chasing in one perfect line. They fused European precision with Detroit funk and soul, cold machines with a beating heart. Juan Atkins got there first, as Cybertron, his early record Alleys of Your Mind, spread hand to hand across the city. It moved 15,000 copies on a tiny independent label, proof this was no hobby. By 1985, Atkins had his own label, Metroplex, recording as Model 500. He had a name for the sound, too, Techno. Then Derek May made the track that gave techno a soul. In 1987, under the name Rhythm is Rhythm, he released Strings of Life, stabbing pianos and surging strings, no real chorus, no rules. May called it high-tech soul. Frankie Knuckles himself heard it and helped give the track its name. In 1988, a British scout named Neil Rushton came to Detroit to package this sound for the UK. The album was almost called The House Sound of Detroit, until one Atkins track, Techno Music, changed everything. They put one word on the cover and a genre had its name for good. That same summer, a few British DJs were on the island of Ibiza, hearing this music played all night under the stars. Danny Rampling, Paul Oakenfold, and their friends carried it home to London and lit a fuse. What followed became known as the Second Summer of Love. Tiny clubs like Shum packed out, And one simple image became the flag of the entire movement. A yellow smiley face, lifted off a club flyer, suddenly meant a revolution. Soon the parties spilled out of clubs into fields and empty warehouses. Tens of thousands of people, no tickets, no permission. The tabloids panicked. One paper sold smiley t-shirts one week and declared war on Acid House the next. In Manchester, a club called the Hacienda turned the whole city electric. The underground was now a national obsession. Then, in November 1989, the Berlin Wall came down and gave techno its second home. In the no-man's land between East and West, abandoned buildings sat wide open. In 1991, a club called Tresor opened inside a literal bank vault beneath the old Death Strip. Kids from the former East and West danced together in the dark, to records flown in straight from Detroit. The club's founder summed up the moment perfectly. Detroit DJs like Jeff Mills became legends in Germany. Two cities had become one underground bloodstream. From there, it was everywhere. The music made in basements became the soundtrack of the biggest stages on Earth. Take Tomorrowland in Belgium. Its very first edition in 2005 drew about 9,000 people. By 2010, it was 180,000. By 2018, 400,000 fans from over 200 countries. What started with broke kids and secondhand machines is now a global industry. In 2024, the global electronic music economy was worth a record $12.9 billion. And yet the people who built it, Knuckles, Atkins, May, Saunderson, were rarely the ones cashing the biggest checks. The sound conquered the world, but the question of who it really belongs to never went away. Because every drop you hear tonight still traces back to a Chicago basement and a Detroit bedroom. Two dead-end cities, a handful of cheap machines, and 4 kicks to the bar that simply refused to die. They were told disco was dead. Instead, it went underground and took over the world.